Salutations, spooks, spirits, and specters, and welcome back to more Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Kind of left Chapter 4 off a bit abruptly, but that's it kind of touched a very sore topic for me in a really personal matter, so I just had to go off and be myself for a little bit, so that way the turn of events for that kind of got the better of me. So yeah. Naho gets what she deserves in the end, and I'll just leave it at that. Today, however, we're going to start episode 5, Shangri-La. Let's go.
俺は罰を受けなくてはならない。携帯のカメラがフラッシュするたびに校舎の壁を白く照らし出す。ここは無人だ。ただ俺と彼女だけがいる。またここに来てしまった。
I was acutely aware that the hand in which held my cell phone had begun sweating, and my breathing had become uncomfortably heavy. I was getting steadily more excited, and it was all because of her. A perfect flower, brightly adorning the wall with its myriad of colors. Such was the departed female form spread before me. When I first encountered her, it took me several moments just to comprehend what I was seeing. I'd never beheld a person with such grievous injuries before. I'm not even certain the word injuries would apply in a situation like this.
どんな精神状態なら同じ人間をここまでできるんだ。
I was certain this action had been wrought by human hands, largely because both of her arms had been nailed to the wall with construction-grade linchpins. Based solely on the dug-out abdomen, seemingly without the use of tools, the intestines lying on the floor, the smashed eyeballs, and the exposed jaw. One might think she'd been torn apart by wild animals, but the linchpins and the faint traces of bloody handprints here and there proved otherwise.
だがこの造形はどうだ。これには誰かの意志が、情熱が宿っているじゃないか。
The blood that splattered far and wide shone in my flesh like a bright red flame, and whole chunks of flesh were strewn about like flower petals. This flayed, eviscerated corpse with arms outstretched and nailed to the wall brought to mind images of Jesus nailed to the cross. But she was even purer than that. There was no self-sacrifice here, no lesson to be taught. Whoever did this clearly had fun with it. They enjoyed killing her. They enjoyed destroying her.
確かに動物の中には食うためでなく遊びのために他の動物を殺し死体を放置する者もいる。ライオンやサルやイルカのように社会性の高い動物の群れでは差別や虐待もある。 そういう他者への攻撃衝動を作品にまで高められるのは人間だけだ。本当にそれだけの理由か。
My internal monologue had become soliloquy? If only for a moment. What was it about this girl that fascinated me so? Witnessing the aftermath of a murderer's actions did provide a certain freeing sense of childlike helplessness, to be sure. But why had she, in particular, stricken my fancy?
ここは死者のパーティー会場みたいな場所だ。凄惨な遺体は他にいくらでもある。それなのに。
The moment I first laid eyes on her will stay with me always. Not just the sight, but the smell too, hanging in the air like steam after a hot bath. She was young, junior or senior high age. But that's about all I could determine. Her uniform was tattered and soaked through with blood, and there was no student ID name tag to be found. The only reason I believed her to be a she, in fact, was due to the presence of a makeup bag and ornate tortoiseshell jewelry box on the ground nearby.
どこの誰かもわからない。こんな死体になぜ俺は。教えてくれ。君は誰なんだ。
The alarm on my cell phone sounded, as if in answer.
もうそんな時間か。
A production of The Barber of Seville was airing on the MHK Educational Network that evening, and Mayu had asked me to record it for her. Being away from my TV at the time, I'd set a few reminder alarms on my phone to sound at regular intervals beforehand. Mayu was most renowned for her love of sweets and accessories and such, and I often wondered if anyone else knew how much she enjoyed the works of Rossini.
眉を探さないと。あいつは俺がついてないとダメなんだ。
Ah, bright and beautiful Mayu, beloved by all who knew her. I was the only one aware of the weaknesses that lay within her heart. Therefore, I was the only one who could truly protect her.
そういえば、持田の妹。あの子はどうしているだろうな。さっき俺はついあの子を追い回して怖がらせてしまった。
I adored watching her run for dear life. It was an act befitting a psychopathic... that word. Yet I am no such thing. Why, then, did I glean such joy from it? I simply found her frail, cowering countenance to be irresistibly precious. The sight of an overwhelmingly weak person standing before me, utterly helpless and alone, elated my very soul. The sensation was nearly orgasmic. Yet this was a friend's sister. For all the torment I'd caused, I certainly intended no harm. The perceived threat I represented just spawned such panic and horror within her that I couldn't help myself. thinking back upon it still makes me smile.
まるで自分の中で別の自分が目覚めつつあるような、そんな感覚だ。ダメだ、こんなのは俺らしくない。この悪夢みたいな場所のせいか。
Indeed, this wouldn't do at all. If I were to return to the real world with Mayu and the others without first discarding this new me, I would no longer be able to live the way I did before.
携帯に保存した画像や動画は全て消しておかないと。彼女の姿も。
I recognize Toko's name. So this Mitsuki must be part of the, that one group of kids.
やっぱもろに落としちゃった。平気かな、携帯。
Well, this right here doesn't look very pleasant.
最悪、ストラップ壊れたし。
But which one are we?
ここにも誰もいない。みんなどこにいるんだろう。
Mitsuki. Is she the one with the glasses?
ついさっきまで生徒会室にいたのに。やっぱりあの幸子さんのおまじないが原因なのかな。ここはどう考えてもいつもの学校の中じゃない。生徒会の仲間とクラスメート数人で例のおまじないをして、多分私は貧血か何かで気を失ってしまったんだと思う。目が覚めたらこんな気味が悪いところにいた。友達の姿はどこにもなかった。最初は瞳子たちのいたずらだと思ったんだけど、どうもそんな雰囲気じゃない。怒っても叫んでも、さすがに怖くなってもうやめてと頼んでも誰一人現れない。なんだか悪い夢を見ているみたいだ。
I think it is the girl with the glasses.
むしろ夢であってほしいと心から思う。一人でこんなところにいるなんて我慢できない。とにかく誰かに会いたくてたまらない。せめて私の名前を呼んでほしい。私は山本美月。白檀高等学校の2年生で生徒会の初期。
Byakudan.
私はここにいるよ。
Well, first things first, let's go ahead and save. And I am going to investigate this. A decaying human head has been forcibly crammed into the top left cubby. It must have been easy to make it fit, as there are tiny pieces of flesh and scalp tissue all along the frame. Oh, it mustn't.
誰かこんな。でも私、人の死体を見てもだんだん怖くなくなってきた。 最初は我慢できずに吐いてたのに。みんな無事だよね。
The front door here. The door is frozen in place, as if it's just a decoration on the wall. It doesn't even rattle when pushed.
ここも窓と同じで開かない。どうなってんのもう。
I'm not going to accomplish anything by staying in one place. I need to keep looking for my friends.
Mitsuki-san! 俺だよ、黒崎。
黒崎？どこ？
We were in the same hallway, but separated by a huge hole in the floor. Still, I'd finally found someone. Kensuke Kurosaki, a classmate of mine from 2-4. After being alone in here all this time, finally, a friend! I could barely contain my exuberance.
黒崎！やっぱ無事だったんだね。よかった。
I remember this guy.
美月さんも大丈夫だった？怪我とかしてない？
私は平気。黒崎、みんなは？
わからないんだ。俺もさっき気がついたばっかで。大地、どうして自分がこんなとこにいるんだかも。
だよね。私たち生徒会室にいたよね。なのにどうしてこんなボロい学校に。気絶してる間に誰かに連れてこられたってこと？
かもしんないけど、こんなことするやつなんて。
まともじゃないよ。黒崎見た？ここって。
死体だろ？見たよ。人生初の体験だよ。リアルでしょんべん漏らしかけたぜ。
やだ下品。
だけどマジでヤバいと思う。早く刻みやフクロイたち探してここを脱出しないと。
Okay, seeing these names, my impression that We Are the Glasses Girl has been removed and thrown out the window. Kurosaki carefully inched closer to the hole in the corridor, bit by bit, then took a good long look inside.
そんな穴ピョンって飛んでこっち来ちゃいなよ。あんた野球部だしスポーツ得意でしょ？
無理だって。陸上部ならまだしも。
Indeed, I was about to say, baseball doesn't seem to be the proper sport field of athletics I would be seeing as somebody for doing the running jumping thing.
使えない。そのうち補欠に回されちゃうんじゃん。
厳しいな。美月さんらしいっちゃらしいけど、とりあえずどっか遠回りしてそっちに行ける道がないか探してみるよ。
ちょっと。
そこで待ってて美月さん。ついでに他の連中も探してくるからさ。
そんな慌てなくていいって。しばらくここにいてよ。一人にしないでよ。私性格きついからな。普段クラスでも生徒会でも 姉子ポジションっていうか。やっぱエミみたいにおとなしい子じゃないと男子から女の子扱いされないか。やっぱり県外、こういう時こそ使いたいのに。
The time display on my phone read 2909. So 709.
時計もおかしい。さっき落とした時にどっか壊しちゃったかな。遅いな、黒崎。何にもなきゃいいけど。
おーい、誰かいるか。
黒崎？ここだよ、こっち、黒崎！
その声は美月か。
よかった。探したぞ、美月。
Student Council President? It was Masato Fukuroi, a classmate of mine and the Student Council President. He always had a scowl on his face and dug his heels into the ground on everything, but right now, his cold obstinance was as welcome as could be.
フクロイ、無事だったんだね。よかった。
Fukuroi, Fukuroi, Fukuroi. Sorry, I'm trying to memorize it. Wait, wasn't that exactly the same thing I said to Kurosaki? I really need to get some new material.
気がついたらこんなとこだし、黒崎いなくなっちゃうし、さすがに泣きそうだったよ。
なんだよ、いつもの美月らしくないな。健介も一緒なのか。
その穴の向こう側にいたんだけど、こっちへ来る道なくってさ、迂回路を探しに行っちゃった。
そうか、あいつは考える前に行動するタイプだからな。
フクロイの方はトウコたちには会えてないの？
ああ、大川や片山も見つからなかった。木ザミも。
木ザミくんは平気でしょ。
まあな、あいつみたいに体力も精神力もある人間ならこんな状況でも。
とりあえず黒崎と合流して、それからみんなを探そう。
じゃあ俺たちもこっち側から迂回できる道を探してみるか。
大丈夫かな。私たちがここ離れてる間に黒崎が来たら。
その時はあいつがここで待っていてくれるさ。むしろ健介と俺たち両方で迂回路を探せば合流が早くなるかもしれない。
That makes sense to me.
それに探してるうちに他のみんなと会えるかもしれないだろ。
そうだね。ここでじっとしてても始まらないし、トウコたちのことも心配だし。
ああ、一刻も早く全員の無事を確認しないとな。
The door to the art room is locked up tight. I wanted to mention this earlier, but this chapter is also the one with the most possible bad endings. So it'll be fun trying to avoid all of those possible deaths, right? There's a large hole in the floor here. It won't be possible to go any farther down the hall in this direction. Oh, Okay, yeah, see? I don't have glasses. I'm not the one with glasses. That's a reference room. That's a girl's room. Okay, so we must be in the secondary wing because I don't recall the... I remember the art room being in the secondary area. Where, Satoshi and Yuka had done some exploring. Down the stairs. Nothing, huh? There's the music room. Gotta make up for all those student IDs I couldn't find in Chapter 3. Okay, we can go inside the music room. So let's take a peek. The first things I noticed when entering the room were a stack of candles and a box of matches right in front of my eyes. Had someone left these behind?
これまだ湿気ってなければ使えるんだけど。火ついてくれるかな。
I struck one of the matches along the side of the box, and a small red flame flickered into being. I propped up one of the loose candles and placed the burning match head against its wick.
こうしておけば、少なくとも生きてる人間がいることはわかるはずよね。
I decided it would be best to take the remaining candles and the box of matches with us, just in case we needed them. Look at this, we have some major arts. There are words scrawled above the portraits on the wall. It wasn't an accident. It was suicide. The school covered it up. The seal must be undone. This tragedy must not be allowed to spread any farther. It's one of the candles we found in this room. There's a row of awards and plaques on one of the shelves here. Among them sits a small rectangular box.
何の箱だろう。
Well, the cabinet's glass door is locked. Well, darn. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there.
フクロイン見て、ここに何か。
Something small was firmly jammed between two of the keys on the piano. It seemed to have been wedged in with tremendous force, making it impossible to move either of the surrounding keys.
確かに何かあるが取れそうにないな。
We needed something we could fit in the tiny space between the keys in order to pop it out. Well, let's investigate this body. It's a comparatively fresh corpse. Based on size and uniform, it looks to be the body of a female junior high school student. Her throat seems to have been torn out, resulting in copious amounts of blood not only on her uniform, but pulled along the floor as well. Her mouth, too, is hanging agape, and she has no tongue. What was used to cut her apart like this? Her student ID is bloody, but still legible. Koyo Girls Academy Middle School. Haruna Harukaze. And we'll see what this little item is here next time. So until then, thank you all very much for watching, and ciao for now. Ciao for now.